Hello everybody and welcome here to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park for this historic first-time matchup. It's East versus West. Hartford Athletic have made the trip out to the land of enchantment to take on New Mexico United. The 2021 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. Chris, and this is going to be a ton of fun. Both teams fighting for their playoff lives.
Yeah, lots of fun. A historic night, first time they played each other, but also a huge night. New Mexico United, the home team, based on the result on Sunday, they have to get a result tonight.
Yeah, New Mexico dropping the points on the weekend at Louisville. There to Louisville City. As let's go ahead now and have a look at tonight's players to watch, brought to you by Lumen Optimal Wellness. Enjoy a healthier body and mind today. And we're going to start here, Chris, first off with the hometown kid. It's Sergio Rivas.
Yeah, Sergio, he's been a huge addition to the club this year. Goals, assists, and it doesn't matter where he plays, he adds energy, he adds tenacity to the team, especially when they're in attacking areas.
Sergio Rivas going to be looking to make an impact here tonight. And now on the other side for Hartford Athletic, it is their number 10. It's Danny Barrera, Chris. And Danny Barrera, this is a guy that has a ton of appearances. He's got a ton of goals to his name. He's played in Serbia. He's played across the United States. He's playing here tonight. Yeah,
and the interesting thing, he tends to play a little deeper, so off the front, really, and a little deep, so it's not sure, the opposition team's not sure whether the midfield picks him up, whether the defender's picking him up, so New Mexico United have to be really careful when Hartford have possession there.
Hartford's all-time leader in goals and assists there is Danny Barrera. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll have lineups and kickoff when we return.
Plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, you deserve the best. Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary.
I'm not a passenger. I'm a pilot.
In training?
Yeah, in training. My dad taught me to fly. To fire the burner, read the wind, and plot a course over our home, the land of enchantment. Are we still in New Mexico?
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
It's getting late, but your crew is just getting started. Head to B-Dubs for 50% off this loaded lineup of tots, chips, and ultimate nachos. But wait, house beer for just $3? There's officially something for everyone, even that friend whose curfew is 10 p.m. Late night at Buffalo Wild Wings.
It is a beautiful night here at the Lab. This Wednesday night soccer, we'd like to welcome everybody tuning in, whether you're tuning in here on ESPN Plus throughout the state of New Mexico or back in Hartford. Let's have a look now at tonight's starting 11s presented by Michelob Ultra. Starting first here, Chris, with the home side, New Mexico. As we mentioned, Sergio Rivas there leading the line alongside Devin Sandoval, Chris Wehan. We see a midfield pivot of Guzman and Salih Muhammad, and one change on the back line, Justin Schmidt stepping in.
Yeah, 5 changes for New Mexico United. Not surprising based on the quick turnaround after Sunday's game.
And now for the visitors, it is going to be the leading scorer this season. It's Obregon Jr. leading the line. They'll have Tabor Taka there as well. Barrera offering some support in the midfield. And they're back in the back line. You have Tulu, Apollon, Janjigian, and Lamson getting his first start here for Hartford Athletic.
Yeah, a couple of surprises there. It'll be interesting, as we spoke in pre-game there, to see where Barrera will pop up. I expect him to be a little higher than what's shown there, maybe just behind the front two.
You know, and with everything going on here currently in Albuquerque, Chris, it is time for the International Balloon Fiesta. So much going on, yet still a strong showing out here for New Mexico United. These are your Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game, as New Mexico needs to hold off opposition in pressure situations, control the center of the pitch, and prevent Hartford from scoring first. That's kickoff. The first matchup between New Mexico and Hartford is underway. Devin Sandoval already doing battle here with Apollon. Sandoval goes to ground, not going to get the call here. It'll be a throw-in for the black and yellow early on. Salih Muhammad, last time he was on this pitch a week ago to the day. An absolute rocket into this net that they're attacking right now. Be surprised if we see that here in the next few days, nominated for goal of the week, Chris.
He doesn't do average goals, does he, Salih Muhammad? If he scores, it normally makes a highlight reel, let's face it.
Yeah, 2 goals to his name as a professional for Salih Muhammad. And if you haven't seen, go back and look up his rocket from about 25 yards out against Switchbacks last season. This ball goes back to Matt Lamson. Lamson, a recent signing here for Hartford Athletic, comes in with 61 MLS appearances. That's a lot of experience, Chris, from Columbus Crew, Chicago Fire, Minnesota United, even got one under his belt with LA Galaxy as well.
It's interesting, you know, the usual goalkeeper for Hartford, Caldwell. You know, it wasn't like he was doing bad. You know, he's only 1 clean sheet behind New Mexico United's own Tambakis with 7, and Hartford have the 6 so far this season. So, you know, some big shoes to fill there.
Head coach Harry Watling had this to say about Lamson. Matt's been training with us for a few days, already made a massive impact on the group. We're really happy to have him in here to push Jeff and to continue to drive the standards. New Mexico attacking here as the cross makes its way into the box from the captain, Jock Suggs, and it's headed away by Apollon. It's the Albuquerque native, Justin Schmidt. Played across to Austin Yearwood. We were talking about the banger scored by Salih Muhammad just last week. Austin Yearwood was the first to do it this season. Again, on this same goal. That was, my memory serves correctly, against San Antonio. That effort won him goal of the week. It's the Englishman, Daniel Bruce, plays it in, looking for Suggs on the near side. So, Chris, 3 minutes in, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing down there.
It's interesting. I mean, Obregon up front for Hartford is looking like a very isolated figure right now. See, most of the ball has already been in this half, and Hartford setting up in a 4-1-4-1, and there's no one really close to them right now. Haven't had a chance to really keep a hold of the ball yet. Be interesting to see how they break out of this defensive block when they finally get a chance to do so.
This is the first Bank of America corner kick of the evening. Chris Wehan plays it in short. This is Suggs. Back to Wehan. Sizing up the delivery, goes low. Sandoval goes to ground. Not going to get any calls from the official there. Bruce, Daniel Bruce sizes one up, and it's a one-hopper to Lamson. I'd also like to let you know that tonight's match is presented by Blake's Lauterburger. Thank them for their continued support here of New Mexico United. You know, and we were talking about the Balloon Fiesta earlier, Chris. Is there anything better than going to a morning session at Balloon Fiesta and getting a Blake's Lottaburger breakfast burrito?
If it was about 3 hours later, probably better. Like those early mornings, I think everyone's a little fuzzy in Albuquerque right now this week because you can't miss it. You literally can't miss it, no matter how much it sucks getting up that early in the morning. I'd say it's once in a lifetime, but you end up going every single year and it never disappoints.
And for those of you that may be unfamiliar, definitely look it up. From what I understand, it is the largest hot air balloon festival in the world. Baseball golf forward, Lamson comes up to collect, no issues. Lamson, as we were saying, has some MLS experience. He made 16 appearances with Columbus Crew through 2012 to 2015. He was loaned out to Pittsburgh Riverhounds, made 1 appearance there. Immediately after that, loaned back out to Charlotte Independence, had 6 appearances there. This is in 2015. So that is the gaffer, head coach Troy Lesane for New Mexico. His 3rd year at the helm. You know, Lesane, so far this season, Chris, his record against the Eastern Conference has been so-so.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Played 5 out of conference games. They've only won 1, and that was against Charleston Battery. Tied 2. Both of those ties came against Western Conference teams in Oakland Roots here at the Lab and Tacoma, and obviously the 2 losses as well. I was going to say last week, but just Sunday, just 3 days ago, against Louisville, and of course the infamous game against Loudoun United, which I wasn't here for, but I heard it was fun.
We'll say that.
Yeah, there you go.
Kalen Ryden, the Norman, Oklahoma native, with a rare mistake there. That pass nearly picked off by Barrera. This is Hawk. Tried to play that forward, but Muhammad was there. Budati. Go back to Tulu. So Hartford Athletic, the Eastern Conference, former club of one Harry Swartz, who, due to a sports hernia surgery, will not be participating tonight. But, you know, I did get to speak with Harry just a little bit, you know, and kind of get some of his thoughts. And he had a lot of good to say about Hartford. As we'll get to that here in just a second. This ball played in, almost finds Sandoval. Budati is there to play that one away. Here's Elney. Hawk just pokes it out for Budati, but again, I was talking with Harry Swartz, and he had this to say. He really loved his time there. He was grateful they took a chance on him out of college. Getting to play in front of his family in his native area meant an incredible deal for him. And he loves the people there. You know, and one thing that I found interesting that he had to say, Chris, is he likens Hartford to somewhat of a little brother to New Mexico, where, you know, it's the same passionate fan base. It's the same support. You have fans that are there at the send-offs for the team. They're there at the airport when the team arrives. So we have a look here. Speaking of Harry Swartz, he's on the Ben Sherman Law Injury Report there on your screen. But
I'm sure there's no one more disappointing than Harry. You know, when he saw this fixture on the list, I'm sure this was one that he circled as a game that he would love to have played in.
Corner comes in here, and that one poked away, put back on goal. Eventually cleared by New Mexico. Barrera turns with it, tries to play across into the box there, and it's dealt with. Here's Daniel Bruce looking to secure that one. He does. Weehan gets a touch on it. Had Bruce making the run on the near side. He didn't see him. Weehan will cut it back. Now play back to Muhammad. Bruce, maybe if he is a few inches taller.
Yeah, in a couple of years, right? No, it's interesting. I was pointing at Daniel Bruce from out the window. Obviously, crispy, and it's easy to say from up here that he was wide open. Troy Lesane was going absolutely mad because he saw it as well. Bruce was wide open, broke into that space on that left-hand side there, but Chris Weehan just didn't spot him in time, and by the time he played the ball, it was a little more difficult and just overhit it.
That is Harry Watling, the 31-year-old out of London. This is his first year at the helm of Hartford Athletic. That is Tabor Taka being treated there. You can see he's got a cast of some sort on his right hand.
You can also see the coach there telling him he's fine.
So throw in here for Hartford. It's Obregon Jr. Bouncing around, it's Barrera that eventually comes down with it. Looking to play the run forward of Obregon Jr., but Kalen Ryden is there. I know Hartford, Connecticut to Albuquerque, New Mexico isn't exactly the shortest trip, but from what we do understand, there's at least one Hartford supporter that made the trip out. Is the cross from Bruce. No issue there for Lampson. As Harry Swartz was telling me, is contacted by one of the members of the 19th Regiment, one of the supporters groups for Hartford Athletic, letting him know that they made the trek down to the lab, and what a beautiful night it is.
I'm sure it's not the easiest trip to get down here, and especially this time of year with Balloon Fiesta going on as well. That just adds to, you know, that it's it feels like Albuquerque is the center of the U.S. right now, with how much traffic's on the road, hotels fully booked, everything, right?
Apollon. Apollon came in from San Diego 1904, had 1 goal in 5 appearances where they played him as a forward. He's lined up here as a left back tonight, Chris, as he was in their previous match as well. Trying to float this ball forward. It's cut out. Going to ground there is Juan Pablo Guzman, the Colombian, draws the foul.
It's going to be interesting, just something to watch. New Mexico United, 3 centre-backs, 3 at the back, which they've played for the majority of the season here. And just seeing, because all 3 centre-backs are left-footed, already they are favouring playing out through Suggs, through Yearwood on that side. Just it's almost subconscious, because their favoured foot is left. They tend to play out that side of the field more. So Daniel Bruce is right now, I can't remember, and granted there's only 10 minutes or so in, but I can't remember him getting the ball on the right side of the field yet. And that's just going to be an interesting little tidbit during the game here, whether that continues.
Right on cue, actually. There's Daniel Bruce. The Englishman brings it down. Rivas offering some support, decides to go for Weehan in the box. Good touch from Weehan, tried to play it in for Sandoval, but that's dealt with by Tulu. So again, we see another Bank of America corner kick. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. So this is Josh Suggs. He's your team leader in crosses for the black and yellow. Let's see if they go with another rehearsed set piece here. Suggs will play it short. Here's Weehan. Back for the captain. Try to play it near post for Sandoval. But that one cut out by Connor McGlynn.
Clearly something New Mexico United's talked about, both corners so far, both taking short. Interesting, Hartford only sent 1, so giving up the 2v1. And, you know, from a young age, you're told if you're given the 2v1, take it. And, yeah, it's an interesting one. Delivery was poor from Suggs. If it had been better, could have really punished Hartford there.
You know, and the set pieces, Chris, is where we saw New Mexico have a lot of success early on in the year. However, it just seems that, for whatever reason, they seem to have just gone away from those. This is Budati to throw in here. Budati most recently played for Reno. Came up through the Club Bruges system in Belgium. He holds dual citizenship with Belgium and Morocco, which allows him to play for the Moroccan national team. That is the Curse here tonight to support their boys in the playoff push. And I know most New Mexico fans probably won't want to talk about that game at Louisville on the weekend, but one bright spot, the traveling contingent of New Mexico fans that made the trip out there was incredible. And for as used to seeing that as we have been, never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, especially the distances that they've had to travel as well. And Louisville, not an easy place to get to from Albuquerque. I know the team had to make a connection as well. Just a long travel day, and that adds, going back to what I said about New Mexico United with the 5 changes tonight. It's not just the game on Sunday, then playing again on Wednesday. It's the travel there, the travel back. It all takes it out of you. So it's going to be real interesting to see how the coaching staff manage the game tonight in the latter stages.
Ball played in, header, and that one is over the bar from Obregon Jr. He was looking to tack on his 8th of this season. He is currently tied in goals with Danny Barrera. They both got 7. However, Obregon Jr. has done it in 5 less appearances. He has 20 compared to Danny Barrera's 25. So you have a look on this TLC replay. You can see that one sent straight over.
It's interesting, a little sighter for Hartford there, maybe a little pace on the left-hand side that they have there.
Here's Budati, lays this one off. Elney tries to play it in. Wehan skips in to dispossess. Rivas now, New Mexico, looking for the counter. He's got Sandoval here on the near side, looking for Devin Sandoval. The 2 Albuquerque natives just unable to connect on that counter-attacker.
Just going back to that last chance there for Hartford, immediately, as soon as it was over, Austin Yearwood switched to this right centre-back role. Justin Schmidt to the left there. Maybe something, because, there's no secret. Austin Yearwood has some pace about him. So maybe Coach Lesane feels like that's a little better matchup for New Mexico United on this left-hand side.
Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. That was Thomas Janjigian. He's played with a couple of our players here that are on the roster. Obviously, Harry Swartz, but one David Estrada. I guess I shouldn't say still on the roster. David recently retiring, now working in the front office for New Mexico United. It's part of their Somos Unidos Foundation, but played with Barrera as well. As this ball comes in and the shot attempt is blocked by Yearwood. That was Tabor Ataka causing problems there in the 18 for Hartford. This is Suggs. Just has that one get away from him.
New Mexico United really struggling in possession here. Hartford are definitely having a little period here, testing a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it down this left-hand side. Upcoming down the right-hand side, I'm sure now, as soon as I say that. But it's Tabor Ataka. Looks like he's got a trick in his arsenal, and he's not afraid to run at defenders. And you can already see he's kind of putting the New Mexico United defense on alert a little bit, a couple of times already tonight.
Tabor Ataka, you said, they typically say got some tricks up their sleeve. He's got that cast on, so I wonder what he might have a little something in store. This ball errantly played back. And this, a big opportunity for New Mexico to capitalize on. Bank of America corner kick. It's going to be Suggs and Wehan getting together here on the far side corner once again. So Wehan will vacate, and Suggs now plays in the in-swinger, looking for Ryden back post. New Mexico asking for Another corner. They're not going to get it. Kalen Ryden pleading with the official.
I think there's a case there. Certainly my first reaction was another corner. Decent ball in. You saw Kalen Ryden's eyes just lit up. And the defender, I feel like he did. He just got there ahead of him.
And you can see the trajectory of the ball flight changes just a little bit. Perhaps maybe indicating that there was another touch on there, as the challenge from Guzman is absolutely perfect. For the Hartford fans that are watching back home, no, the crowd is not cheering for that tackle from Juan Pablo Guzman. This is a tradition that takes place at every New Mexico United match, and it's called the Magic Minute. So they start losing it at the 19-minute, 12-second mark, and that's to signify when New Mexico became a state back in 1912. They'll stop at the 20-minute, 18-second mark to signify when New Mexico United was announced as a club. So it is 66 seconds of pure chaos every match. Tabor Ataka. Obregon asking for it, but that cross cut out immediately by Kalen Ryden. And the Magic Minute, for as cool of a tradition as it is, it's one that was actually brought forth by head coach Troy Lesane. Fun fact. Rivas to Sandoval. Sandoval unable to link up there with Daniel Bruce. Bruce giving chase, and it's played over to Tulu. All eyes turn to the Atlantic Division when the USL on ESPN continues. Charleston Battery travels south, looking to break down a surging Tampa Bay Rowdy side. Catch the action tomorrow as Elney tries to play this one in. Tabor Ataka goes far post and just sends it wide. Hartford asking for a foul there, top the 18. Our official, Brad Jensen, not going to give it to him, but it looks like perhaps Elney is down. That is Elney. As I was saying, catch that matchup between Charleston, Tampa, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes.
Elney and Tabor Ataka are being basically given free rein to switch sides whenever they want. They've both popped up on either side, and Elney there just showed some pace and some power. And this will be a worry for Hartford because he was able to just brush aside Daniel Bruce there and get at Austin Yearwood. And cuts inside, lays a beautiful ball on for Obregon. And New Mexico United dodged the bullet there.
And Sebastian Elney, the 6'1" forward from Boynton Beach, Florida. Most recently played with New York Red Bulls 2, a 23-year-old. Comes in with 36 championship appearances under his belt, 7 goals to his name. He was a key element of the University of Maryland men's soccer team from 2015 to 2018. He played in 81 games, scoring 19 goals, also notching 10 assists, and also helping the Terrapins win a national championship in his senior season. So I'm sure the Hartford faithful, as well as the team over at the technical area, hoping that he'll be all right. He has been appearing as a sub over the past couple of games here for Hartford. Notching his first start in quite a while. He appeared in the 58th minute as a substitute last match against Charlotte Independence. That game played at Dillon Stadium in front of 4,080 people. Elney did pick up a yellow card in that game. You know, in Hartford, looking at their recent form, Chris, it's been tough, right? Over their past 3 games, they've only had 2 goals scored by players that play for their own team. They've been fortunate enough to receive 2 own goals, but dropping 4 out of their last 5.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, the last game they won was against Mountain West opposition. Obviously Real Monarchs, which there's no secret how rough the season has been for those guys. But it's interesting there that, it was a pretty rigorous test that the physio was doing there, that the trainer was doing there on him, and checking. It seemed like he was checking for ligament damage. You obviously hope that that's not the case.
Well, Elney is back on the pitch. There you see him, number 9, already getting in with some gamesmanship, delaying this Fiesta Auto Group free kick. So we have a look at Sergio Rivas going to ground here on this TLC replay. Suggs, Weehan. Suggs gives the signal. You can see he and Weehan still discussing just a little bit here. Suggs will get it back. Here's Guzman. Back to Weehan, makes the run. Weehan cross, Sandoval, and it's saved. No, it was Rivas actually, and it's a goal. And it was Sergio Rivas heading home. Initially what looked to be a save from Matt Lamson is awarded as a goal for Sergio Rivas. And tonight's player to watch is off the mark. 1-0 New Mexico.
So from our position, well, everyone basically, that linesman was in, the assistant referee there was in a great position, right on the line. What a great work free kick there from New Mexico United. Little dink in, great header off the crossbar. That's an interesting one from that angle, from the camera angle. That doesn't look like it's in. But Anson tips it onto the crossbar, and you can see he's leaning back, so I think that's why the AR gave it there. This will be the angle that tells us here. So it doesn't hit the crossbar, and this is back. That's a close one. Got to trust the AR. The AR was right in line with it.
And so for Sergio Rivas, that's his 5th goal on this season. That ties Armando Moreno for 2nd most on this team. Moreno, speaking of, he is out on national team duty with El Salvador once again, so I'm sure he's got some eyes turned to this one here this evening. This ball chipped forward, and Kalen Ryden rises up. That ball is kicked in and almost bicycle kicked. Incredible stuff from Danny Barrera. And the lab is silent.
That would have been a great response by Hartford there. You can see New Mexico United stretched all over the park there. First ball in, Kalen Ryden, he's backpedaling, so he can't get any purchase on the header. Just pops it up in the air. Barrera probably, even though it's a bicycle kick and they're obviously very hard to do, he actually probably had a little more time than he thought, and he probably should have done a little better with that.
Going to ground, that's Justin Hawk. He will draw the foul. And Sandoval was trying to take off running with that one there. So we mentioned that Armando Moreno is out on international duty. So is Walmer Martinez for Hartford. And the reason we bring that up is because Walmer Martinez and Armando Moreno, they're playing together. They both play for El Salvador. 23-year-old is Martinez. Santa Cruz, California. Here's Bruce, picked up by Tulu. Bruce tried to get around, but Tulu does well defensively. Guzman steps in, pokes that one away. Here's Suggs, Rivas. the second time I've called Rivas Sandoval tonight. And for whatever reason, I guess it's the hairstyle. Daniel Bruce emphatically goes to ground and does not get the call, much to the dismay of the 6,000 plus in attendance here tonight. We get another look here at this one.
I don't think there was a whole lot in there. I think Daniel Bruce knew that he was in a little cul-de-sac there, trying to just clip the ball around the corner. Felt a little bit of contact maybe, but you know, I don't mind referees letting a little bit go tonight, letting them play, letting them get on with it. Doing the same for both teams, so can't really argue.
Bruce now called for the foul on the ensuing possession, so Bruce perhaps getting just a little frustrated there. Tulu looking up top for Obregon Jr. Elney heads it back.
Mexico United looks like they've switched to a back four. I'm assuming that's based on the pace and power of the attacking players of Hartford there, but it certainly looks like Suggs at left back, Wood at right back, and Schmidt and Ryden, the two centre backs there.
Ball played forward, it's a foot race. Daniel Bruce not going to beat Tulu to it, and that ball just rolls out for a goal kick. You can see the curse. Get a little bit of everything in the curse. You see one of the perhaps younger fans in the stadium here tonight for New Mexico. There's a couple of them down in that front row. No better place to catch a soccer game here in Albuquerque than here at the Lab.
What better way to start your fall break? Well, I'm not sure they're old enough to know what fall break is, but what better way to start it, right?
Sandoval does not win the header there, goes to ground. Obregon plays it back for Hawk, but Salih Muhammad is there. And now Weehan is looking to break, and Weehan just looks back at Bruce and tells him, settle down just a little bit. That's McGlynn playing that one long. Ball headed down. And now going for goal was Tabor Ataka, and just drags it wide.
In New Mexico United, you could probably say that it might be worth dropping another 5-10 yards. That's a couple of times that Hartford have just tried to play that long ball in behind, and as you're backpedaling, it's really hard to get any kind of distance on your headers. And the centre mids, Guzman and Salih Muhammad, are just a little too far away. So New Mexico United, while they're winning the headers, Hartford are there to pick up the second balls.
Barrera. Guzman to Suggs, now back to Kalen Ryden. Salih Muhammad, the Bay Area native, recently re-added to this New Mexico roster after spending the first half of the season out at Oakland Roots. Salih, one of the members from the original team here in New Mexico back in 2019, also played for the club in the pandemic-shortened 2020 season. Came up through the Dinamo Zagreb Academy. Spent some time there, I should say, out in Croatia. That well done there by Connor McGlynn. And now Apollon off to the races, cuts it back here on the right foot, has it poked away. And great defensive work there from Sergio Rivas. Here comes Weehan, tries to play it forward for Sandoval, and Sandoval just loses his footing trying to cut back.
Great work by Sergio Rivas there. Initially gave the ball away, or was involved in where New Mexico United were dispossessed. Tracked the run, stride for stride, and managed to stay on his feet. Didn't bite on the first cut and managed to win the ball back.
And that's something that we've seen a lot from Sergio Rivas lately, Chris, is not only is he playing as an attacker, but he's also gotten used to dropping back and doing some of that dirty work defensively.
Tenacious, yeah. I think that's what we said in the pregame, and he never knows when to quit, right? Like whether he's playing, right now he's playing right. Looks like he's one of the three midfielders, and maybe Bruce, Weehan, and Sandoval are the front three. But he was playing, started up in the front three at the start of the game here, and pops up at left back, winning a tackle. Pops up at right back, winning a tackle. He really doesn't have those boundaries of where he's going to be. He'll pop up where the ball is.
Oh, and Weehan is getting a yellow there. As play was whistled dead, he ran up and kicked the ball, had an attempt at goal from well past the halfway line. That, Chris, a very sloppy yellow from a USL veteran like Chris Weehan.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a silly one right there, especially when it's not like he did it as the whistle was going. The whistle had been blown. You could probably count at least 1 second, if not two, before he smashed it. You could see the keeper was off his line, but yeah, very, very cynical from Chris Weehan there.
So Weehan goes into the book, and this is a Fiesta Auto Group free kick. Here for the visitors, it's Danny Barrera standing over it. Barrera plays it out near side Budati. His cross goes in. Headers won by none other than Kalen Ryden. Holland, Weehan's got to be careful, already on a yellow. That cross goes in, and it's over everybody, and Daniel Bruce will let that one run out for a throw-in. So that yellow card was called on Chris Weehan. It's brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. It's the USL's all-time leader in minutes played on your screen. That's Josh Suggs, the Las Cruces native from right here in New Mexico. Devin Sandoval. The first signing in club history was Sandoval, the first goal scorer in club history, first postseason goal scorer in club history. Just writing his name all over the record books here for his hometown club. Yearwood. Bruce plays that one back, gets it back from Suggs now. Salih Muhammad. Muhammad crosses in, Rivas, and the header goes wide from Sergio Rivas.
Sergio Rivas needs to be careful. One more headed goal, he's going to be called a specialist at it. Really well done by Daniel Bruce there. Salih Muhammad absolutely pinged the ball at him out wide. Did well to knock it down to Suggs. Well worked. Little cross to the back post, and he did. He found a little pocket there, Sergio Rivas, just off the shoulder of the centre back there. Just couldn't quite, it was just a little too high for him.
And you said that delivery in from Salih Muhammad was just brilliant. You and I are
searching balls, like the ball out wide to Bruce just opened up, just stretched Hartford with that one ball there. And like I said, Bruce did really well to knock it down to Suggs there. And then, yeah, really good ball in as well, into the box.
Josh Suggs. He's been voted as the team captain each year by his teammates here with the black and yellow. Of course, they do vice captains, all of that good stuff, but co-captains, I believe the others are called. But Suggs always dons the armband when he's on the pitch. And Suggs, you talk about a guy that's got some miles on him, Chris. Got some MLS experience under his belt with San Jose Earthquakes and bounced around the USL. And for Sac Republic, he's played for Switchbacks. Obviously here for New Mexico. and he just doesn't stop. Obregon Jr. goes to ground. He's being marked there by Salih Muhammad. Then just kind of picks up the ball in frustration, and Muhammad now wanting to have a word with our official, Brad Jensen, and now Jensen making him put the ball back where it was taken from. So this, another Fiesta Auto Group free kick here in the 40th minute. To deliver this one is Danny Barrera. Barrera plays this one in, and it's initially headed by Sandoval and cleared out by Juan Pablo Guzman. Ball scooped forward now. That was Barrera, has it stripped away. Muhammad tried to play one over the top for Bruce and Suggs making the run, but just a little too much on it. It finds the hands of Lampson. And I know you've made mention of it, Chris. United playing with 3 lefties there on that back line, and there you see Justin Schmidt playing a little close there with the left foot.
It's 4 now, because Suggs has moved back to left back, so they've gone from a back 3 back to a back 4, all left footers, and it's professional players are professional players. I'm sure their right foot's fine and dandy, but
here's Suggs trying to get to it before it goes out. He is unsuccessful, makes a slide. Kind of caught the warning track a little bit there. Suggs looks to be all right.
Yeah, it's just something where I say, like, subconsciously, you just always favour your strong foot. Like,
sure.
No matter how many times you've played, what level you're at, you always favour that side, and it's just interesting. It's four defenders all with left foots, and some teams struggle to find lefties.
Yearwood gets it back, and now played in for Guzman. Near side, it's Suggs. Ryden now finds Rivas in a pocket of space. Weehan makes the run ahead, lays it off. Here's Weehan. Sandoval unable to possess that and get by Tulu. Lampson's got it.
Great entry pass by Caelan Ryden, just spotted Rivas and just found that little pocket of space in front of the Hartford's back 4 there. And you could see, though, again, Austin Yearwood don't want to go over the same point over and over again, but he just does not want to take that touch with his right foot and take that touch into space. He's got space in front of him to run into, and he's just playing back inside. But yeah, again, really good ball by Caelan Ryden into there. Just changed the pace of the attack.
And Ryden, for being a center back, we know how good his distribution is. He can hit those long diagonal balls pretty regularly. This is Caelan Ryden now. Over for Suggs, back to Salih Muhammad. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Roddy Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and our pal Devin Kerr every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. Austin Yearwood is dragged to ground there by Apollon. And that is a tackle that we typically see in the other kind of football.
And that's the first time there. Austin Yearwood takes it down with his right foot. Then you can see it's kind of pobbling around a little bit. And he just didn't know what to do. He just grabbed his hand and pulled him down. And then argued the fact as well, which is pretty amusing.
Incredible, right? With the AR standing
2 feet away.
Literally 2 feet away. It's always worth a shot. It never works, but so this is a Fiesta Auto Group free kick. Josh Suggs plays it short for Weehan, gets it back. Headed away by Elney. Guzman one-times it. Guzman once again. And nearly puts that one onto the concourse behind the curse. So there are 3 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee, Chris, is a matter of opinion.
Wonder when I'm going to stop smiling at that.
It's one of those, it's evergreen. Ball bounces. Barrera tried to play that forward. Obregon Jr. comes down with it. The official played the advantage initially, but now brings it back. Barrera takes it quickly and no, says Brad Jensen. Bring it back here as he was not done issuing some talks yet. It looks like Guzman, the Colombian from Bogota, is getting a talking to. It's Danny Barrera there in front of him. Barrera, although a native of Thousand Oaks, California, was born in Bogota, Colombia. Barrera had 12 goals for Hartford last season. As he plays this cross in, it's sent away by Austin Yearwood. Deborah Taka plays that cross in, and that's well over the head of everybody. And that is going to be a goal kick coming up here for New Mexico and Alex Tambakis. So for Alex Tambakis, coming into this game, he has 71 saves on 99 shots faced. So if you're doing the math, that is a save success rate of 71.7% from the Athenian. Came up through the Panathinaikos youth system in Athens, Greece. He's also got 7 clean sheets to his name here this season. Went back-to-back clean sheets before conceding a multitude of goals against Louisville on Sunday. And Backus with 71 saves. That's good enough for 7th in the USL. And his 7 clean sheets see him tied for 4th. Crunching tackle in the midfield. Sergio Rivas goes into Justin Hawk, and Rivas, or excuse me, that's Devin Sandoval. Sandoval is going to be issued a yellow card here in the 48th minute. So that yellow card is brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. Have another look here on this TLC replay. You can see Sandoval just slides into it, as does Hawk. Both players are okay. They're both up. And they're both down towards the 18-yard box for the ensuing free kick. That one delivered. And it ricochets. And they're going to give a handball off of this. Elney with the header ricocheted back. And handball is the call by our official, Brad Jensen. No argument from the black and yellow. Here you see the captain, Josh Suggs, trying to come in and plead a case for his teammate. But let's go to the replay on this. So Yearwood, you can see, is very clearly jumping as the ball was headed back. It does look to in fact make contact with the arm of Austin Yearwood inside the 18-yard box. So it is a penalty kick here for Hartford. Taking this, none other than Danny Barrera. Danny Barrera looking to take the team lead in goals from Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. They both have 7. Here's Barrera, one-on-one with Alex Tambakis. Barrera at the spot. The official has now blown the whistle and given the go-ahead. And Barrera goes quick and he slots it home. 8th goal of this season for Danny Barrera, and that is the equalizer here at the Lab just before the halftime break in the 51st minute. Tough break for New Mexico on the handball call.
Yeah, that's disappointing for New Mexico United. So close to halftime, changes the halftime team talk for both teams, both managers. And you can see Tambakis smashes his foot against the goalpost there. He guessed the right way. He almost got a hand on it. He feels like he could have had that one.
So no 8th clean sheet on this season for Alex Tambakis as New Mexico off the restart. Juan Pablo Guzman just has a rip-it goal, and that is the first 45 in the books. Hartford Athletic equalize late, Chris.
And you see the New Mexico United players surrounding the referee. I understand why they're saying it, maybe to get in his ear for the second half here, but he's not going to change his mind. Get in, regroup, go again in the second half.
So we are going to step aside here for just a moment as you see halftime between New Mexico United and Hartford Athletic. We're tied at 1 apiece.
What are you doing? Trying to make this thing work. It works! Yeah, let's go!
For over 50 years, BIOS has been proudly serving New Mexico. We love being a part of this community and the New Mexico United family, and helping everyone from homeowners to home builders create a space that's both beautiful and practical. Shopping local is about more than getting a great deal. It's about supporting your community, your neighbors, your friends. Visit BIOS in Albuquerque and see how shopping local supports your New Mexico community.
Back at the Lab here, Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst in a tie game. 1-1 New Mexico, tied with Hartford as halftime is presented by Smith's Fresh for Everyone. So Chris, it was the captain Danny Barrera scoring his 8th goal in the 50th minute at the penalty spot, bringing Hartford level. What were some quick takeaways from that first 45 for you there?
It started off a pretty scrappy game again, but you know, everyone kind of got into it, and a draw there at halftime here is probably not unfair.
So let's take a look here at the Mountain Division standings. You see El Paso Locomotive, the runaway train there at the top with 51 points. They look like they're well in position to win the group. Switchbacks sitting in second at 44 points. San Antonio in third. And this is where things get interesting, Chris. We see New Mexico, RGV, Austin Bold, all separated by just 1 point.
Yeah, it's the mess that is the Mountain West, right? And Austin Bold, 3-4 weeks ago it seems like, were lock-ins for the playoffs, and all of a sudden they've dropped, and New Mexico United managed to sneak back in there, so it's all still to play for.
Let's take a look now at some news and notes. We've got some news out of USL League One. We've got a professional soccer team coming to Lexington in 2023. They're currently named Lexington Pro Soccer. Excited to see them get off the ground. The USL and the Players Association announced a landmark collective bargaining agreement. The new 5-year agreement will bring better pay and benefits to players in the USL. And Louisville City, clinching the playoff spot with their 3-1 victory on Sunday over this New Mexico United side. Scores or upcoming schedule here from around the league. Tomorrow, it was the match that we were talking about just a little bit ago. Tampa Bay hosting Charleston. That one kicking off 8 p.m. Eastern. We've also got some Mountain Division action on Friday with Real Monarchs taking on Switchbacks. We then see Lights taking on Los Dos, and Charlotte Independence hosting New York Red Bulls 2. Next up, we've got some finals here from the week that was. As we mentioned, New Mexico dropping to Louisville out at Lynn Family Stadium on Sunday, 3-1. Charlotte Independence putting up a 5 spot there. You can see a 0-0 draw between Memphis 901 and Sporting KC. And actually going on right now, not on the screen, El Paso trailing currently to San Antonio 2-0. So that one, Chris, has some massive implications for New Mexico as we take a look here at the upcoming 5 games for the Black and Yellow. This is the rest of this season for New Mexico, and every single game matters. You see they've got some big matchups in the division between RGV, San Antonio, RGV again, and then closing things out here against Real Monarchs on the 30th.
Yeah, you can see that San Diego Loyal game as the one game where it means so much. When the fans first found out about it, they probably thought it was going to be a nice trip away, but that's a huge game as well as the Mountain Division games.
We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be back with more halftime.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Hey, y'all. Can we change up the chores?
Sorry. It's up to the wheel, man.
Oh, yeah?
Hey! Change the channel back.
Sorry, it's up to the wheel.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Sebastian Doggart from distance, and he drills it! Wow! What a goal!
Piggott lines one up, curler! Oh, baby!
Simply magnificent!
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, you deserve the best. Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary.
In New Mexico, we know true. True beauty, true adventure, true color, and true culture. Home to the artists, the warriors, and the multi-generational, multiracial, all-inclusive family that we call the United. This is New Mexico United, and New Mexico United is New Mexico True.
Welcome back here to the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst. It is halftime presented by Smith's Fresh for Everyone. And we see a tie game here. New Mexico 1, Hartford 1. Let's go ahead and have a look at the first half stats brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. And Chris, of course, the most important one is that one at the very top. Goals even at 1 apiece. However, both teams able to get forward in the attack. We see a combined 12 shots, only 3 on target from the both sides. But New Mexico dominating possession.
Yeah, it's so lopsided. But you can see how efficient Hartford have been going forward, creating more chances with less of the ball. And I said just before the break, no one could argue. I'd say Hartford will say they've done more than enough to get back into this game. The goal, as I'm sure we'll see, that New Mexico United got, there's some questions whether it was, whether it wasn't. So I think all square at halftime, and that's more than fair.
Now we've got some halftime highlights on deck for you here, presented by TLC. Let's take a look at what we've got so far. New Mexico hosting Hartford, first time ever. And starting things off, this was the opening goal. It was Sergio Rivas elevating at the 6-yard box. Matt Lampson unable to keep it out.
Yeah, really well worked free kick. Clearly something that they've worked on the training ground. Lampson gets a hand to it and it just kind of spins backwards, and this is the angle where, even this angle, which is the closest one we have to the goal line, it's not definitive that crossed the line there. I think Hartford feel very hard done by, but New Mexico United, it didn't matter to them.
Nonetheless, that is a 5th goal on this season for Sergio Rivas, and that ties him with Armando Moreno for the 2nd spot here for New Mexico. And there it is, the captain, Danny Barrera, equalizing for Hartford off the handball call. Hartford awarded a penalty just before the break. The captain knows what to do with it, extending his all-time lead as Hartford's all-time goal scorer.
And it's not often you see someone take a PK that quickly, just almost steps back and almost catches Tambakis off guard with only the one step, and shows how confident he is taking a PK like that.
So we've got about 3 minutes left of halftime. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with second half kickoff.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded classic chicken sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
It's the red or green event at American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop now for hot buys and cool deals on the largest selection of in-stock furniture in New Mexico. Plus, we guarantee delivery for Thanksgiving. Get entertainment ready with our huge selection of in-stock dining with 5-piece sets starting at just $5.49 and in-stock sofas starting at just $4.49. American Home Furniture and Mattress. We guarantee you'll pay less.
We've all been waiting for the great unpause. But what if we took this moment to see our old lives as something new, something bigger than routine, something better than back to normal? Because moving forward, what we used to call just everyday life is what we'll celebrate every day. This will be the greatest comeback. Collect all 6 signature bottles, win all summer. Learn more at ultracomeback.com.
Get your associate's degree in 17 months with C&M Online. A fast degree, no hidden fees, books included, all at an affordable price. All of your courses can be completed online. Take the next step in your career. Get your degree from C&M Online.
That is your goal scorer for New Mexico, Sergio Rivas, the Albuquerque native. He was our player to watch in the pregame, Chris. And for, actually, now that we think about it, both players that we highlighted in the pregame, both on the score sheet so far. So this one shaping up to be a lot of fun here in the second 45. If you're Hartford, what are some of the adjustments that you're making at half?
I mean, one, how long did it take you to realize that those were the two players that we talked about before the game? I mean, a little slow tonight there, mate. But yeah, I mean, Hartford, every time they've got the ball to Tabo Ateka or Obregon or Eleni, they've scared. You can see, like, the New Mexico United defense just gets on their heels straight away because they're not afraid to just run at them. So the game plan has to be get the ball to them sooner, in a little bit of space, and get them running at them. Like, it's as simple as that. It really is a pretty simple game plan, and test out this backline. The New Mexico United backline has really struggled with that pace and power, especially in the first half. And
New Mexico, for whatever reason, just unable to link up play between their back line and midfield, linking up with that front line.
100%.
Something's got to change if you're Troy Lesane, right?
Yeah, and you know, Sergio Rivas popped up with a goal, but we've really struggled to get the ball to his feet. A couple of times he's managed to get the ball in a pocket in front of the back four of Hartford, and something good has come from it. But it's only happened 2, maybe 3 times in the entire first half. That has to be one of the ploys for Troy in the second half. There is get the ball to Sergio Rivas' foot.
So Wehan on that assist. That is his 4th on the season. He is 2nd now for New Mexico as he trails Andrew Tenari, who's not in the 11 here this evening. He's got 7 assists on the season, does Tenari. Wehan has 4. Daniel Bruce has 3.
Special mention to Brucey tonight, 2 assists in the last 2 games, earning, basically, making it where he is undroppable right now with those that output in the last 2 games.
Obregon Jr., he's picked up there by Justin Schmidt, and that ball takes a deflection, and we have our first Bank of America corner kick of the second half coming up. So taken quickly, Obregon Jr. in the box, as that one poked away by Sandoval. The striker getting in to do some defensive work. Barrera goes to ground. Guzman disagrees with the call. Barrera, the captain, you can see him readjusting that armband. Let's get another look at this TLC replay. Yeah, Guzman didn't look like he got any of the ball there.
That's interesting. I was going to say the opposite of you there.
Oh, you think so? Maybe I missed it.
It's all about opinions, though, right?
You're probably right. So Barrera plays in the free kick, the header, and it's in the back of the net, and it's Obregon Jr. That is his 8th goal of the season, tying Danny Barrera. And Hartford Athletic riling up the crowd here at the Lab.
Yeah, cheap free kick to give away, moving away from goal, no real need to do that. great delivery into the box, and just a little deft header in the box. He's not the biggest guy, he's not the tallest guy on the pitch. Just found a little pocket of space just between two defenders, two New Mexico United defenders. You see, he just drifts into that space there. I think he's just playing off the shoulder of Salih Muhammad and just glances it into the bottom corner. Nothing really Tambakis can do about it.
Yeah, and we get another look here. TLC replay. Tambakis was steadfast. Didn't even move on that as Obregon Jr. Well, he sees Danny Barrera get his goal and take the team lead, and he says, not so fast, my friends. I'd like to share that top spot there with you. So New Mexico now, Chris, have some serious work to do.
And we've seen the script before, right? When a team comes to the lab and gets a goal up, especially in the second half, the longer it goes on, the more the tactics are going to come out. New Mexico United could really do with getting back into this game quickly.
Well, here's Daniel Bruce. Sandoval was looking for the bicycle kick, but Lamson comes out to collect that over his head. So for Juan Carlos Obregon Jr., he's out of Brooklyn, New York. He stands 5'9". 23-year-old forward. Here's Rivas. Finds Daniel Bruce. Englishman pokes it out. Here's Yearwood. The North Carolina native, Austin Yearwood, goes to ground, and Tabor Ataka is going to be called for the foul. As you can see, the New Mexico True scorebug there on the top of your screen. If you're not already planning to, make your plans Saturday night right here at the lab. It is New Mexico True night, and I hear New Mexico United are cooking up something special. It's going to be hot. People are going to love it. I can't wait. You're not going to be here.
I was saying, why is it always when I'm out of town?
Don't go out of
Fall
town.
break, there's lots of soccer going on all over the country. They need to, New Mexico United, if they could make sure there's no games on big soccer tournament weekends, that would be awesome in the future.
So again, if you have not made plans, there's going to be a ton of extra programming around that night. So you definitely want to go online, grab your tickets. It's tickets.newmexicoutd.com, or you can give the team headquarters a call during regular business hours. It's 505-209-7529. Get those tickets today. It is New Mexico True Night on Saturday. And I'm hearing, since you're not going to be here, Chris, there's actually going to be a special guest making their ESPN Plus broadcast debut. I won't let any spoilers slip as Austin Yearwood here tries to work his way around that double team. Unsuccessful, but Justin Schmidt will play it back forward. Here's Yearwood. So for New Mexico, Chris, this is crunch time, not only in season on the pitch for these guys, but off the pitch for the club. Hopes of a stadium. It's going to the ballot next month. It's going to be a real crucial time for the club. Here's Suggs. Suggs chips that one in. Rivas. It's cleared away. So we're talking about the stadium. It's a $50 million bond on the ballot to go towards the building of a city-owned soccer-specific stadium. So Kalen Ryden tried to clear that one, and unfortunately for Obregon Jr., he took that one right in the chops, and now the foul is called on Salih Muhammad. And that is Obregon Jr. on the ground. He looks to be okay, perhaps just shaken up. Salih Muhammad now will go into the book. That's another Roadrunner Law Firm yellow card. So that is 3 yellow cards on the pitch currently for the black and yellow, Chris. We're only in the 54th minute.
Yeah, it's getting, again, it's one of those games where this could easily descend into chaos, right? Which unfortunately has happened a couple of times here at the lab when frustration boils over, and that's what New Mexico United need to make sure it doesn't happen. Use their experience. There's veterans on the field. Get everything calmed down. Every time they've moved the ball with a bit of pace, a bit of intensity, a bit of tempo, it's caused issues for Hartford. The issue is, second half, it hasn't happened but maybe once. And in the first half, it just didn't happen enough either.
So this is a Fiesta Auto Group free kick here for Hartford. They lead 2-1 here, 54th minute. Barrera gives this signal, whips this one in, looking back post, headed back. Sandoval makes contact with it for New Mexico. Budati now tries to play in the cross and overshoots everybody. And that one is going to be out. But it looks like Budati actually let that one run over the line before he could cross it, so it's a goal kick. There's Bruce looking for Sandoval. Devin Sandoval plays that back now. Salih Muhammad. Yearwood has that one tipped, and it falls to Sandoval, and he heads it home. Devin Sandoval, corner pocket, and we're tied 2-2 in the 55th minute.
And you can see that ball just gets put into Juan Pablo Guzman, and he just keeps the ball moving quickly. So Hartford don't have time to get set. Ball in by Yearwood. It actually wasn't a great ball, but it takes a deflection which just carries it into the path of Devin Sandoval, who was wide open 12 yards out. Easiest header he'll have in his career.
That is the 5th goal on the season for Albuquerque native Devin Sandoval as he equalizes for New Mexico here in the 55th minute. And on the assist, Austin Yearwood. And from what I can tell, Chris, that is the first assist of the season for Austin Yearwood.
And it was assisted by the deflection. But again there, Austin Yearwood, he took a risk with his right foot, his weaker right foot, and put the ball in the box early. Again, it's all about the speed of it. He put the ball in early, so it didn't give Hartford a chance to get set, and that's why Devin Sandoval had so much time and space in there.
Goals are brought to you by T-Mobile. T-Mobile has Devin Sandoval covered. Hartford quick on the counterattack here. Things have livened up here at the lab.
Great reaction by New Mexico United. The longer the game went on with Hartford at 2-1, it would have become more and more frustrating. They needed to get back into this game, and you can feel the energy was just starting to sneak out of the building a little bit, and it's right back now.
So this, another Bank of America corner kick here for the visitors. That's the captain, Danny Barrera. One of 2 goal scorers on the night. Plays the cross in. He's looking far post. It falls to Budati. Crosses it back in, headed away by Justin Schmidt. So that was a huge goal, not only, Chris, for Devin Sandoval, but for New Mexico as a whole, as they are fighting for their playoff lives right now. Cross coming into the box, back post, and that was Darwin Loam. So Loam entered, replaced Sebastian Elney. Substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and Advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Here's Suggs. Josh Suggs, the captain, plays it down. Sergio Rivas. Rivas has that one deflected off of him by Budati, and that is a goal kick here for Lampson.
You see the pass there by Josh Suggs, just under hit a little bit, put Sergio Rivas into a 50-50, and Budadi, he manages to play the ball off Sergio Rivas there. But again, you can see the pace starting. Things appear to be starting to click for New Mexico United. Interesting, on the last corner, Hartford Athletic, they left 4 guys out of the penalty area. Most teams don't do that. Now, whether that's because they're sitting back and just saying, okay, we're fine with a tie, or whether they're just giving up the first phase of the corner, knowing that the ball will drop to them in the second phase. It's a really interesting one.
That's Loam, played in off of Sergio Rivas. Hawk will play it back. This is Tulu. We've got some scores, current scores from around the league. Austin Bold currently leading Tacoma Defiance 1-0. Austin at home in that one. This cross going in. There's Josh Suggs rising up to meet that one. Salih Muhammad with the next touch, and he loses possession. But this one could have some implications. Here's that ball crossed in, and Yearwood has to come in and deal with it. Rivas now plays it forward for Weehan. Here's Sandoval, New Mexico, looking to counter. As I was saying, El Paso currently trailing San Antonio 2-1. That game being played in El Paso. Oakland Roots on top of Sac Republic 1-0 currently, 17th minute. And we've got a full-time score, Memphis 901, 3-1 victorious over Sporting KC 2. So if results hold, New Mexico would slide down into 5th. San Antonio, with their victory, would leapfrog Switchbacks into 2nd place. Both of those teams on 27 games played. So New Mexico, having won 3 of their last 5 losses, bookending those 5. Really looking for 3 points here tonight.
It's massive, and it's been like that all season, this Mountain West Conference. When Devin Kerr was here, he was talking about it as well. It is the Wild West. That middle group, El Paso were just the team that once they got going, no one could catch them, no one could keep up with them. And really, the rest, it was the best of the rest. Real Monarchs, unfortunately, had a really rough season. Any one of those other 5 teams could make up the last 3 playoff spots, and still could.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at RGV, you're level with New Mexico on games played with 27. They're 1 point behind the black and yellow, but those 2 teams still have 2 more meetings coming up, the first of which on Saturday.
There is some massive games coming up, and like I say, that San Diego Loyal game is kind of on an island there, where I believe you're going to that, but when that game was put on the schedule, everyone was looking forward to what a beautiful place to go. But now that game just takes on such a huge meaning, because New Mexico United, like I think we said on the last broadcast, playoff season's already started for New Mexico United, along with Rio Grande Valley.
Yearwood looking to connect with Sandoval once again, but it's Lampson coming out to collect that one. And, Chris, you're totally right. And if you look at the Pacific Division, Phoenix Rising already clinched 59 points. They're in. But then you have San Diego Loyal sitting in 2nd place in the Pacific with 43 points from 27 games played. Landon Donovan and his men are having quite the season.
It's not going to be a nice place to have to get a result.
So it looks like we are going to see the first change of the evening for New Mexico. And replacing the goal scorer, Sergio Rivas, we have Chelo Martinez. Chelo Martinez here for Troy Lesane. This is his 26th appearance, with 17 of those appearances coming as a substitute. He's got 9 starts to his name. Chelo also with 2 assists on the season. No goals. He was brought in to be a real playmaker for New Mexico, Chris, and you know, aside from about a 10-minute spell against Switchbacks back in July, you know, hasn't really been the player that New Mexico thought he would be.
Oh, but, you know, obviously you put him on the field now and set pieces are his game, right? And, you know, if there's any set pieces in the attacking half of New Mexico United, you bet that he's going to be in and around it and involved in it. And he has an absolute wicked delivery from set pieces.
Daniel Bruce has that one poked away and dispossessed. You know, and we're talking about the playoff push for New Mexico. Hartford, looking at their division in the Atlantic, they're sitting in 6th currently out of 8. Loudoun, New York Red Bulls 2, they've already been eliminated. Hartford level with Charleston Battery on points at 31, but they are below the playoff line. Hartford 6th, Charleston in 5th. Charlotte occupies the 4th spot, which is the final playoff spot in the division. They are 15 points clear of Hartford. So Hartford really out here playing for pride, Chris. And you know, when you get a team that's got nothing to lose, essentially, playing in front of a packed house like this, you know, we've seen away teams come in here and thrive off of this atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure, it does. It raises everyone's game, you know. And you saw when Hartford was celebrating the goal, the first thing they did is go to the New Mexico United fans and try and wind them up a little bit.
So it looks like we're going to see Dodson enter the match here for Tabor Ataka. That substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Cross pitch ball played to Budati. Obregon Jr. Already got a goal tonight, looking for an assist, and that one just poked away by Juan Pablo Guzman. It falls to Loam, and the cross just goes over the head of the substitute Dodson, and Tambakis can breathe a sigh of relief.
You could see there was a split second there where Tambakis was a little worried, thought that maybe he'd been done. Luckily for him, Loam just got the little cheeky chip, just got a little bit wrong.
Barrera looking for Obregon Jr. Obregon Jr. goes to ground. The official wags his finger, says no, get up. Here comes Chris Weehan. He's got options. Plays it for Sandoval. Devin Sandoval turns, lays it back. Chelo Martinez. That one gets away from Bruce. Tension mounting here in the lab among the 6,000 plus in attendance tonight. Wednesday night football action here on ESPN Plus. Thanks for tuning in. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on the call tonight. Whether you're watching on ESPN Plus, if you're watching statewide in New Mexico on Estrella TV, we'd even like to do a nice warm welcome out to, if there's anybody watching out in Hartford. So we understand there is a local stream of the game up there. So if you brewed an evening pot of coffee and hung out late with us, we do appreciate it. It's Hartford Athletic giving New Mexico just about all they can handle through the first 67 minutes, Chris.
Yeah, a couple of changes here for New Mexico United as well. It's interesting. Looks like Austin Yearwood going off with David Najem. Straight switch, Naj with the right foot at right back. Could be something seeing in Tenari adding that tenacity in midfield as well, with Sami Mohammed going off for Juan Pablo Guzman. One of the lead assist maker for New Mexico United stepping in for the last few minutes. Troy Lesane rolling the dice a little bit.
Well, and I think, you know, obviously Troy Lesane and his men know how important every single point is at this point, right?
See, when Devin Sandoval scored that goal with his head, he didn't really celebrate. He ran to the back of the net, grabbed the ball, and ran it back to the halfway line.
Chelo Martinez delivers. Is looking towards this near post here, and fortunately for Hartford, that one out for a goal kick, and now down goes the goalie. That is Lampson. Retrieved the ball and sat down immediately. We may be seeing Jeff Caldwell.
He's holding his hamstring a little bit.
You can see Sandoval just pops over momentarily to make sure everything is all good there, and it's what you don't want to see. That is Kevin Hoffman, the physio there for Hartford Athletic, and try to get another look at what happened here. So there you see him just kind of stepping, and not a whole lot. And the fans.
The fans have just seen what we just saw as well, yeah, so they're not pleased.
And, you know, and Chris, you did allude to it there. There has been some gamesmanship exhibited here at the Lab by opposing teams. So these fans perhaps just a little fed up with seeing it so far.
They're a little cynical. I'm not sure they believe that there's anything really wrong with them. I mean, you know, we can't say whether there is or there isn't, but the way he went down definitely seemed a little interesting, let's say. And like I said, on the corners, then leaving so many guys out, like maybe this is another sign that Hartford are here to play spoilers for the last 20 or so minutes.
Well, buckle up. We're only in the 70th. Lamson looks to be okay. And we're back underway. So perhaps just a way to not only waste some time there, Chris, but New Mexico is starting to get a lot of the momentum. Here comes Sandoval. As that one cut out by Dodson as he entered the 18. And for New Mexico, not only were they getting some momentum, they just brought on some fresh legs as well. So there's really ever a time to stop play for about a minute, totally get away with it. That was the time to do it there for Matt Lamson. And you know, the veteran goalkeeper with over 60 MLS appearances under his belt knows exactly what he's doing. Weehan. That one just blasted away.
But you can see that, yeah, you can see though the ball's just moving a little quicker right now for New Mexico United. And I said right at the start of the second half, every time New Mexico moved the ball with a bit of tempo and a bit of speed, good things have happened. And right now, you feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to increase the speed of the game, see how Hartford are doing with this altitude here in Albuquerque, and make that one final push, see if they can nick a goal.
So Bank of America corner kick here for New Mexico. It's Chelo Martinez, delivers, looking back post, and that one is headed away. You know, and you bring up a really good point there, Chris, as Daniel Bruce plays this cross in. Lamson runs out to collect, looks just fine on that one there. Did Lamson. So whatever injury he was suffering seemed to have calmed down or gone away. But done my homework here. Hartford, Connecticut. Elevation, 59 feet above sea level. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Some places in the city over a mile in elevation, so you know the lungs have to be burning if you're these Hartford Athletic players, as that ball is just deflected out for a corner kick. It was Tulu conceding that one there. You know, and for New Mexico, the recent games that they've played here at home, they haven't really been able to use that at altitude to their advantage. And again, switchback so often, Real Monarchs to name a few. But when you've got a place like Hartford sitting just 59 feet above sea level, getting into these last 20 minutes, we could see some potential mistakes happening. Is this one bouncing around, and it's blasted into the picnic pavilion. Chris Weehan was looking for his 10th goal of the season.
That's another set piece by Chelo Martinez. That's why he's been brought on. Dangerous pops out the back post to Chris Weehan. Lashes a right-footed it there. Just finds him in the box. How often do we say that Chris Weehan just ends up in the right spot there and he just can't keep over it to keep it down?
Right, and it's kind of like that thing, right, with strikers. They say, well, he gets lucky. He's always there for the tap-ins. But at some point, if it's the same guy always in the right spot at the right time, it's not just coincidence, right?
100%.
As we mentioned, over 6,000 in attendance here tonight. Official numbers are in 6,444 fans at the Lab. here for this Wednesday night USL Championship contest. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on the call for you. It is a beautiful, brisk night here in Albuquerque as fall is finally starting to arrive here in the Southwest. 61 degrees, sitting at 40% humidity, which is abnormally high for this area. Although we haven't seen some rains over the past few days, which has really cooled things down. Obregon Jr. goes to ground. Not going to get any call there. Here's Wehan looking to pick out the run of Martinez. Opts to go with Najam instead. Here comes David Najam, the Afghan international. Najam slides this one forward, looking for Bruce. Cross in, and it's straight to Lampson.
Daniel Bruce met the advertising hoardings there with a full pelt there. The defender just gave him a little nudge while he was off balance, and he went flying into it. But David Najam there, at full speed, just gliding, just eating up the meters there.
Martinez looking far post. Bruce goes to ground. Lampson is there to gather. Fans starting to get a little bit restless here.
Obregon Jr. there was desperately trying to buy a foul from the AR there, and the AR wasn't budging, wasn't letting him have it, so he had a little go at him. That's what the crowd are reacting to there.
Dodson had that one poked away. Finds its way back to Alex Tambakis. You know, and typically we do see David Najam playing higher up the field as a wingback, where we're seeing Daniel Bruce, but this is a change that we saw from Troy Lesane just last week with David Najam. He played a little bit more of a defensive role. Did well. Typically subbed off about 2/3 of the way through, and that day was no different. There's Tenari. Laid off. Great ball to Josh Suggs. He's got Wehan in the 18. Sandoval arriving in support. The cross goes in, and that one out of play. Suggs just puts both hands on his head.
Yeah, he can see how much of a good opportunity that was there. Great ball by Devon Sandoval. I think he was the only person who saw Josh Suggs out wide. Everyone was tracking the run, including the Hartford defenders. They were tracking the run of Chris Wehan because he was buzzing around in there, and Josh Suggs was just in miles of space out wide there. Disappointing delivery.
Throw in for New Mexico here. 3 points would go a very, very long way here for the black and yellow. They've got less than 15 minutes of the 90 to capture those. Goals from Sergio Rivas and Devon Sandoval. Offset by Danny Barrera and Obregon Jr. Here's Chelo Martinez. Martinez looks for the cross for Wehan, but that one is sent away. Hawk now plays this forward. Barrera has to hold his run just a little bit, and now a dangerous ball to Loam. The AR thought about the flag, stays down. Here's Loam. Picked up by Suggs, and the veteran Josh Suggs comes up big in the one-on-one.
The AR there on the far side did himself no favors. He started to put his flag up, put it down, put it up again, then put it down again, and all the crowd could see it. So that's why he's getting some jip from the stands right now.
Just like to clarify that was jip that was said. There's a somewhat of a strong accent in the commentary booth. Getting some jip from the fans.
Yeah. I have no idea what you thought I'd said.
Just clarifying. I was just clarifying. 77.5 minutes gone by. Lampson looks to be okay from the injury that saw him take a seat for a minute just about 10 minutes ago. Bruce now. Here's David Najum. Najum actually the first mid-season signing in New Mexico history. He was brought back to the club in July. Daniel Bruce throwing it in. Justin Schmidt now. Scooped forward. Martinez has loads of space to put a cross into the box here. Cuts it back. Cross goes in. Lamson at the near post. No problem.
At this point there, well done by Chelo Martinez there. He just cuts it back on his left foot. There was no one making the run at the near post to get in the goalkeeper's eyesight. There was just no one really doing that, so really easy pick out for the veteran keeper.
And there, Ryden goes down, pops back up. He looks to be okay, but regardless, the foul is called. There you can see Salim Muhammad starting to get into it a little bit there with Loam, and Muhammad has to be careful. He picked up a yellow in the 53rd minute. Now our official Brad Jensen calls the captain Josh Suggs over to have a word. Now Muhammad called over by the official. They had just a little bit of a talking to. Going down there with Sandoval. Hawk not going to be called for the foul. Here's Tenari. Suggs now. New Mexico on the attack. Played out. Chelo Martinez. Down for Suggs. Left-footed cross. And that one goes over everybody. And this, an exciting sight here for New Mexico. Entering the match is the 17-year-old Christian Nava. Christian Nava, he's the first player in New Mexico United Academy history to complete the path to the professional ranks. He made his season debut for New Mexico just a few months ago on July 9th. He came on as a second-half sub in the 3-1 win over Switchbacks. And now we have another sub here on the other side for Hartford, it looks like. And looks like we're going to see the forward Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. being replaced by Nico Cardona.
I think that tells us a lot there. Defender coming on for the centre forward, but a few minutes ago, I know this is going to make Coach Troy Lassane sleep better at night, knowing that he and I agree on that sub. I circled Christian Nava and just pointed to him, quietly to you, saying that was the only recognised attacking player on the bench in New Mexico United. They just need something different. And Christian Nava, he's young, he's exciting, he's an X factor.
And this is Christian Nava on the ball, gets it down to Suggs. He's got 10 minutes to make an impact here. This is his second appearance at the Lab. Made one appearance away from home. That's against San Antonio FC on ESPN2 earlier this season. And you said it, New Mexico just needs a little bit of a spark. And if you remember, that backheel nutmeg that Christian Nava did after coming on against Switchbacks really ignited the team. They were able to score 2 in stoppage time, go away with a 3-1 win. Troy Lassane hoping for more of the same here tonight. So corner kick coming in here from Martinez.
Just going back to Christian Nava, you can see like the the gravity of this game right now, 2-2, like New Mexico United, make no bones about it, they need a goal. They need to win this game. Bringing on a 17-year-old, that shows how much trust the coaching staff have in him. In his first 3 touches he had there, no fear. Trying to get at the outside back immediately.
Well, and that tells you exactly what kind of player that Christian Nava is. And that, kicking out there, was Budati. Going to the pocket is Brad Jensen, and Budati is going to find his way into the book. So 84th minute yellow card there for Yunus Budati. Brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. If you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. Tulu down on the ground for Hartford. It's going to see Kevin Hoffman come out on the pitch once again. The TLC replay, incredibly cynical challenge. Most definitely a yellow.
Yeah, you can't argue about that one. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Just wanted to stop the attack. And there's you can see Josh Suggs just gesturing there where it's going to be real easy. I feel like we're going to see this a little more as the game goes on here again, where another Hartford player's just sat down away from the ball, maybe feeling it in their legs because of the altitude. Don't want to rule that out, but definitely, like I said, with the substitutions they've made it clear that they are happy with the point here tonight.
And just a little bit more on Christian Nava, this 17-year-old Albuquerque native. He goes to Albuquerque High School. He led the Albuquerque High Bulldogs to a state championship in 2019 and then was named a U.S. United Soccer Coaches High School All-American selection as a sophomore. Led his team to back-to-back state championships. Christian Nava. Here's Weehan, pokes that one to Justin Schmidt. 5 minutes and change remain of the 90. I'm sure we'll be seeing a decent deal of stoppage time as well. There goes Justin Schmidt. Lays that one off. Here's David Najum. Chelo Martinez now. Andrew Tenari tried to play that one on, and it's going to be out for a throw-in. So we spoke about Nava making his way through the New Mexico United Academy. We'd like to tell you a little bit about the USL Academy. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, the USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping players transition into their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com. New Mexico United tonight celebrating Hispanic Heritage Night at the Lab. Tonight's match presented by Blake's Lotaburger. Fans, we'd like to invite you to join the USL in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month through October 15th. Visit uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-Heritage for exclusive content and stories that celebrate members of the Hispanic community that have shaped the USL. It's Chelo Martinez. Takes that one in. Almost fell to the feet of Christian Nava, and you can hear the roars of the crowd gradually getting larger. Salih Muhammad lets that one on. Nava goes down. No, says the official. And it's going to be a throw-in for the black and yellow.
Just sitting here watching, just with a big grin on my face, watching Christian Nava play. He's all over the pitch. He comes and demands the ball off Caelan Ryden, of all people, and gives it back, and then it's given to Justin Smith, and he demands the ball off him too. Brilliant.
Nava cross goes into the box, and that's poked away by Hawk. Chris Weehan was waiting if Hawk wasn't able to get to that.
You see, it's just that spark. It's just that unpredictability. Like, he's not like one of the other veterans who are on the field who've been there, done that. It's something that, and Hartford haven't been able to plan for him. They have no idea about him as well.
Bank of America corner kick. Chelo Martinez. New Mexico looking for the go-ahead goal. That one headed away. There's Tenari. He's got 7 assists for New Mexico this year. Cross going in. Almost able to play it back in was Chelo Martinez, but it's out, and it's another Bank of America corner kick.
Chelo Martinez, really well done there. Everyone for Hartford had just given up, assuming it was going out for a goal kick. Didn't give up on it. Manages to win his team another corner.
Here's Martinez. Right-footed delivery. Back post. Kalen Ryden elevates, and it's cleared just off the line. Hartford still level here at the lab. And now it's a breakaway. David Najum one-on-one with Dodson. Najum does well to stay in front. And what a defensive play by David Najum.
David Najum, unbelievable defense there. Just a couple of times you thought he was going to lose his feet, maybe dive in and give away a free kick, something like that, but he just manages to keep going stride for stride, bided his time, waited until the chance had kind of gone for the attacker there and managed to snuff it out.
New Mexico have a lot of bodies forward. Hartford now looking to counter once again. Ball played in, looking for Dodson at the back post. Nava flicks it on. There's Andrew Tenari now. Nava signed through the end of the 2023 season. So not only is he around in black and yellow for the rest of this year, but next year as well. A little bit of gamesmanship, kicks the ball away. The fans booing it. The Hartford players. The official just lets Nava know, no more of that.
Yeah, and that was a little bit of inexperience because, you know, it's New Mexico United time. You can see leaving gaps at the back. They're pushing for this to try and get back in front here. That free kick went the wrong way. Lom there, he had no interest in playing the ball and was just holding on to Josh Suggs there, but Suggs, when he fell over, he fell on top of him, so you can see why the official gave it that way, but I think that was really smart play by Lom.
Yes, Auto Group free kick, cross goes into the box, rising up to head it away was Ryden, falls to Barrera, deflected by Sandoval, and Sandoval will feel the danger momentarily. This ball is going to fall to Lom, goes to ground. And he's not getting the call there. New Mexico try to play quickly, but Lom is on the ground. It looks like we're going to see another injury stoppage for Hartford, as we've now been notified that there are 6 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. You can see Kalen Ryden there talking with our official, Brad Jensen. Just saying, what's going on?
That's exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. In those words, exactly.
I'm sure he's also asking where he might be having a bite to eat after the match. How's the family? You know, all the normal stuff players and officials talk about in the stoppage time of a 2-2 match. It's David Najum. Salih Muhammad. Boy, they could go for one of his worldy goals at this moment. Ball played out, it's Chelo Martinez. Martinez, back post. And that one is headed away before Chris Wehan can get there. It's another Bank of America corner kick for New Mexico. The 6th corner kick of the half for New Mexico. Chelo Martinez sends it in. And it's going to be cleared out by Hartford once again. Barrera on the run as New Mexico tracking back with numbers. Trying to play that ball forward for Dodson. Tenari is there, and the cross goes back across the face of goal, but Justin Schmidt is there.
You see how wide open the game is now. That's Hartford's one hope to nick a goal now, is can they catch New Mexico United on the counter, because New Mexico United are just flooding forwards in numbers now.
There's Christian Nava. Over in the far corner. Nava just gets shoved down, and the foul is going to be called.
That's really experienced play, like experience beyond his years there. He knew he couldn't really do much. He was in a corner, he was in a cul-de-sac, he was in a pickle there. So he just kind of stood his ground and allowed the defender to just push him in the back. Couldn't see who it was there and fell for it.
So this is a very dangerous opportunity here for New Mexico. on the Fiesta Auto Group free kick in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. In goes the cross, and Hartford able to win the aerial battle. Now looking to counter there was Apollon. New Mexico a little slow getting back defensively as Loam plays that one back. Turning is McGlynn. Barrera lays that one off. Here's Justin Hawk. Has it poked away by Chelo Martinez. Tenari able to retain possession. Martinez gets it from Sandoval just behind Chelo Martinez there. Here's Suggs. Two minutes and change remaining here of the 6 stoppage time minutes. Here's Suggs. Lays it off, Christian Nava. Nava picked up by Cardona there. It's Tenari. Weehan. Haven't seen a lot of Weehan on the ball over the past 10 minutes or so. Najam tries to play it down for Nava, and it's just a little too much weight on the pass for the 17-year-old to get to it.
Yeah, just a little too much on there. It seems like New Mexico United maybe just running out of ideas here, getting a little desperate, and desperation means that some bad decisions, unfortunately, in there. David Najam just overhits it there. Could he have driven into the space and maybe hit a shot himself? But yeah, it's desperation stations for New Mexico United now.
Jalen Ryden sticks a boot in it. Headed away by Cardona. Hawk goes to ground. New Mexico, less than 60 seconds remaining of the 6 allotted stoppage time minutes. Tenari was looking to pick out Weehan. Ball loose atop the box. Weehan goes to ground. Does not get the call. 2 players still down on the ground. As that ball crossed in, looking for Loam was Dodson. Players spread out all over the pitch right now. McGlynn. Bugatti just pulls that back to Cardona. So time ticking here for New Mexico. This is their last chance at the attack. Here's Chris Weehan. Christian Nava. Here's Nava. Is there a moment of magic in store for New Mexico? The ball goes into the 18. It's sent back. The official checks his watch. We play on. Justin Schmidt now looking for the run of Josh Suggs. Out of reach. And that is the full-time whistle at the Lab. Hartford make the cross-country trip from Connecticut to take a point away from the black and yellow here, Chris.
And you can see both teams, it's hard to tell at the time, but you can see both teams just dead on their feet right now. Hartford players just collapse into the floor. Kind of like what they were during the game, actually. But yeah, just collapse into the floor, just exhausted. The amount of effort they put in the second half, a long time without the ball, because New Mexico United just absolutely dominated in possession.
So let's go ahead and take a look now at the full-time highlights here presented by TLC, and we'll start things off here with Sergio Rivas on the goal. He is your Pepsi Man of the Match for this goal here in the 26th minute. That was his 5th goal on this season. And Chris, we weren't sure if it went in. The AR on the near side had a really good view of it. It was ultimately him that ruled it a goal.
Yeah, and you know, again, great, well-worked free kick there. Great header, and yeah, you got to say the keeper looks like he did enough there, but AR's in a much better position than we are, for sure.
That was, again, Sergio Rivas, the Albuquerque native. That goal sees him tie Amando Moreno for 2nd here for the club this season. And there, Devin Sandoval, that is the Michelob Ultra play of the match Devin Sandoval's header in the 55th minute, that to his 5th goal of the season. So Sandoval getting back in on the action, dreadless but still scoring goals.
Yeah, it was a fairly comfortable header for him. He found a little bit of space in there, deflected cross by Austin Yearwood, put New Mexico United back in the game.
And this year, the Positive Energy Solar save of the match, it was Josh Suggs with that tackle there in the 78th minute. That was his lone tackle on the night to go along with 2 clearances. And if you remember that play, he was isolated on an island there. As again, the full-time scenes here at the lab. That is the full-time score brought to you by Duke City Cares. 2-2 New Mexico Hartford Athletic. We'll be back to wrap things up.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded classic chicken sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live, non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
This one's for all the parents whose idea of a big night out is a 15-minute drive to a takeout window. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
For generations, we've watched the seasons change. My great-grandfather helped build this railroad. There's something special about fall in New Mexico. The aspens, cottonwoods, and oaks. There's nothing else like it, really.
Full-time scenes here at the lab as you see Troy Lesane having some conversations with some of his players. That's David Najam, Christian Nava, as you see our Duke City Cares final score 2-2. Hartford Athletic able to secure the draw. Let's have a look now at some of the full-time stats. As again, the shots, 25 combined shots from the two, Chris. I mean, aside from possession, this one was split right down the middle.
Yeah, and you can see how efficient Hartford again in the second half, like even less of the ball in the second half, if you could believe it, and still created chances. A lot of those chances were on the break, but the fact that the save of the match was Josh Suggs shows that actually, other than the 2 goals, Tambak has conceded 2 goals, but didn't really have a save to make other than that. Yeah, and you know, for Tambak, as we can see him down still on the pitch right now, having some conversations with Alex Touche, his teammate, and he's animated, he's frustrated. I get it, right? You know, these games are all very important here as we roll into the full-time highlights presented by TLC. And let's take you through this one. Starting early, this New Mexico notching the goal here early on. Chris Wehan notching another assist. That was the 5th goal of the season for Sergio Rivas. And with that, New Mexico looked to be off to a decent start. Yeah, it was the start that they wanted. You know, again, really well worked free kick. The little short free kick, great ball in by Chris Wehan. Had a quiet night tonight, same as Sergio Rivas, really. And you know, whether it went in or whether it didn't go in, it counted, and that set New Mexico off and on their way. Well, and you can see just how much that means to Sergio Rivas there. And then back on the other side, it was Barrera, Danny Barrera, slotting that one home. The one-stepper where he just put in, kind of catches Tambakis off guard a little bit by taking it so quickly. He still nearly got there, and Tambakis really upset that he didn't get a hand to it. Yeah, and that's a tough one for Alex Tambakis. He had been playing so well. And then here, Hartford actually, Chris, take the lead on this one. It was Obregon Jr. notching his 8th goal of the season, tying Danny Barrera for the team lead to send Hartford ahead. And New Mexico, they knew they had work to do if they were going to get out of this with at least a point. Yeah, it was a great whip ball in there, and he timed his run perfectly. Not the biggest guy on the pitch, just timed it perfectly, timed his jump perfectly, and just glanced it in the bottom corner. Nothing Tambakis could do.
And strikers like that, you know, they just have an eye for goal. You know, especially Obregon Jr., his 21st appearance on the season, has 8 goals, and there, Devin Sandoval equalizing for New Mexico. As you see the cross in from Austin Yearwood, just takes a deflection. Sandoval able to get on the end of that one, heads it home, and that ultimately is able to save a point for the Black and Yellow.
Yeah, speaking of being a striker being in the right place at the right time, the deflection takes it into his path. Nice, comfortable header into the bottom corner, grabs the ball, because you could see how important it was to try and go and push for that 3rd goal.
And you know, I'm sure all the people here were wanting to see a win on the field, but that on your screen is the 17-year-old Christian Nava signing autographs. Just an incredible sight to see. This is what it's all about. And with that, that's going to do it for us here. We'd like to extend a big thank you to everybody out there in Hartford, out on the East Coast, that hung out, stayed up late to watch with us. That's going to do it for us here, for our entire Windfire Productions team, for our director, Gary Williams, Chris Hurst on color commentary. My name is Tyler Ortega. We'll see you right back here on Saturday.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.